Hi everyone, Frank Schaub here from 6 Degrees, the psychosensory brand building agency. You know, people tend to have this romanticized notion that successful brands are forged in this cauldron of positive energies, where innovative ideas by visionary entrepreneurs come together in just the right way and at just the right time to create the next great brand. And in truth, many great brands are built that way. But what I want to talk about today are those successful brands that were born on the dark side, conceived by negative energies that range from simple frustration and dissatisfaction to downright hatred. Here are some of their stories, and I think you will find them no less compelling. Let's start with the frustrated customer. In the late 1960s, Don Fisher couldn't find a pair of Levi's in any store in San Francisco that fit him properly. Frustrated, Don and his wife Doris opened their first Gap store in 1969 in San Francisco. And now, some 45 years on, Gap Inc. is the largest retailer of apparel in the United States, selling some $15 billion worth under the variety of brands including Banana Republic and Old Navy. Next up, the pissed off customer. Ferruccio Lamborghini built a very successful farm tractor company in Italy under his family name. Having accumulated some wealth and with a budding interest in fast automobiles, Ferruccio purchased a number of cars from Mercedes, Jaguar, and Ferrari. Whereas Ferruccio really liked his Ferrari cars, he did think of them as overly noisy and rough. And he frequently found himself returning his Ferraris for servicing. One day, Ferruccio had the opportunity to complain to Enzo Ferrari himself. But rather than getting his concerns addressed, Ferruccio found himself actually being dismissed by Enzo. Enzo used the contempt-filled words, "You know how to drive a tractor, Ferruccio, but you'll never learn to drive a Ferrari." Well, Ferruccio had both the motive and the means to show Enzo Ferrari, and he went on to build high-performance automobiles under the Lamborghini brand that to this day still compete directly, and many say advantageously, with the models from Ferrari. I bet Enzo secretly regretted how he handled Ferruccio. Finally, let's talk about the family feud. The Dassler brothers operated their sports shoe company in the German town of Herzogenaurach during the 1920s. They split responsibilities for running the company between the two of them. Adolf, who was nicknamed Adi, designed the shoes, and Rudolf, called Rudy, marketed them. Their business, which initially operated out of their mother's laundry room, exploded with the rise of professional sports equipment and the signing of key athletes like Jesse Owens. But soon the brothers had a falling out that led to a lifelong and bitter feud. It also led to an intense competitive rivalry. No one seems to really know what caused the rift, but their wives also hated each other intensely, and there were rumors of one of the brothers sleeping with the other's wife. Regardless, they split company assets and proceeded to build the competing brands of Adidas, also known as Adidas in the US, which is a contraction of Adi and the first 3 letters of his last name, and Puma, a renamed version of Ruda, which was also a contraction of Rudy and Dassler. Smart move there, Rudy. Puma much better. Anyway, the hateful brothers built competing factories on opposite sides of the river Aurach. And as the two dominant employers in the town, ended up dividing the town and its people until the very day they died, and were then buried on opposite ends of the same cemetery. Today, Adidas and Puma remain 2 of the strongest sports brands in the world. So those were just a few examples of successful brands born from negative motivations. Hope you enjoyed them.